We want everyone to have a voice, because Australia knows that international rules and norms can deter conflict and underpin our security and prosperity. So all of these efforts, the alliance, the region and the rules, have an ultimate goal: to avert conflict, build prosperity and sustain the kind of peace we all want.
I'm particularly worried, concerned about the question of national preparedness against shocks.
I think from Australia's point of view, it would be to do a national security threat assessment, considering the challenges that Australia faces in the 21st century.
I think the first sort of question that we should ask is, what is that future? What future are we trying to protect?
I think we need to take seriously the deterioration in the strategic environment that we're in.
We need to have a proper conversation about the threats that we're facing. And so we need to be clear about what our challenge is, and then we need to be clear about what we need to do to defeat those threats.
That means being able to talk to the Australian people about the challenge from China. Not the threat, but the challenge.
Because I think that it is upon powers like Australia and Germany and other middle powers to now take on a new role in an emerging world order that is defined by conflict, by great power conflict, by great power competition, where we can no longer rely on our big partners to make these decisions for us.
How you ensure that the security of your national space is guaranteed by your active engagement with the rest of the world to make it a safer place, so that you're not just preventing bad things from happening directly at you, but also you are creating an environment around your national space that it's safer.
Australia is a very big player in terms of development assistance, and this is across all different facets, especially in the security and traditional security sense and non-traditional security sense as well. So I would encourage Australia to continue on the path that it is at.
I think Australia needs to put more in terms of shaping the region by diplomacy, by engagement, development, things that contribute not only to Australia's direct security, but also regional stability.
So number one, we have to be able to have sovereign control over our democracy. Secondly, it's about securing our physical security, our borders, our maritime and physical borders. And then finally, it's about securing our prosperity, because if others can put our prosperity at risk, they can put all of those other things at risk.
Australia requires an integrated approach to national security, and that needs to encompass all elements of national interest. This includes social cohesion, our sense of identity, sustainability matters, and of course, economic prosperity.
For me, I think that we need to raise citizens' awareness with digital literacy. We really need to focus on arming our citizens with what they need to discern truth from fiction.
We need to be a more inclusive country. We need to focus very much on issues around equity. And this is not to say we're not inclusive. It's not to say that we're not equitable, but it is to say that we can always improve.
It is very important that social cohesion is maintained and promoted.
And it needs to do that by building trust with the Australian people, engaging with Australian people, and ensuring that the outcome is one where we are creating a nation of social cohesion on some of the most important national security issues.
And that really is about being more open with the public about the risk environment, not beating the drum of demonising any particular country or society or system, but just being very forthright with the public about the risk environment.